What if the most extraordinary encounter between humans and a being from beyond the stars didn't happen in a spaceship, but in the heart of the jungle? No cameras, no headlines, just one tribe, one mountain, and a moment that would change their entire world. This is the legend of Bekorot, the one who fell from the sky and lived among men. The Kayapo people had lived for centuries in harmony with the Amazon rainforest. To them, nature wasn't just background, it was spirit, teacher, and home. But one place they feared, a towering, mist-covered peak called Saruka Toti. Strange sounds echoed from it, deep vibrations that rattled the earth. At night, lights flickered across its summit like distant fires from the sky. No one climbed it, no one dared. The elders said the mountain was sacred, a place touched by the gods. Children were warned never to go near. Even the animals avoided its slopes. But one night changed everything. A storm tore through the forest, louder and more violent than any in memory. Thunder boomed like war drums. Lightning danced wildly across the treetops. And then, a blinding flash. The sky split open, and something fell. Something not of this world. At dawn, the jungle was silent. The elders gathered. 6 warriors were chosen. Their mission? To climb the forbidden mountain and discover what had landed. They carried weapons, but not for battle. They would need courage for something far more terrifying. The unknown. The 6 warriors moved silently through the jungle, their bodies painted in ash and ochre, their minds torn between duty and fear. As they climbed Saruka Toti, the forest changed. The air grew colder. The birds stopped singing. A strange hum vibrated through the ground with every step. When they reached the summit, nothing could prepare them for what they saw. There, lying half-buried in broken earth, was something that looked made. Not by nature, but by hands. Alien hands. It pulsed with light, like it was breathing. And beside it stood a figure, tall, thin, unmoving. Its body was wrapped in what looked like glowing armor, smooth and seamless like the surface of a river. It had one large, unblinking eye in the center of its face, and in its hand, a rod, metallic, radiating power. The warriors froze. Their instincts screamed to run, but their duty held them still. One raised his spear, another knocked an arrow. They attacked. The weapons bounced off, like they hit stone or wind. The figure didn't flinch. Then it lifted the rod. No sound. No flash. Just darkness. They fell. Not dead. Not injured. Just asleep. When they awoke at the mountain's base, hours had passed, and everything they knew about the world had changed. Days passed. The warriors returned, silent and shaken. They spoke of a creature, a blinding light, and asleep like death. But no one could make sense of it. Until one morning, near the river, something strange happened again. A group of boys spotted a man in the water. He was swimming alone, calm, unbothered by their presence. But he was different. His skin was pale, almost glowing under the sun. He moved like water itself, graceful, effortless. He didn't look frightened. In fact, he looked at home. When guards approached, weapons drawn, the man stood and smiled. And then he spoke, in perfect Kayapo. "My name," he said, "is Bekorot. I come from the sky." The warriors gasped. Was this the same being they had faced on the mountain? Bekorot only nodded. "Yes," he said. "That was me, wearing protection. Your world is intense." Then he pointed toward the trees. "If you search there, you'll find it. My armor." They did. And what they found was no animal hide, no cloth. It was something unearthly. Bekorot was no longer a myth. He walked among them, ate with them, spoke with wisdom far beyond their elders. And in time, he shared his secrets. The staff the warriors feared was not a weapon. It was a tool. It could emit light, change terrain, even put people to sleep without harm. His suit was not armor. It was protection from the Earth's harsh conditions. To the Kayapo, this was magic. But Bekarot explained it was technology, from a place far beyond the stars. He taught them new ways to hunt, more precise, less wasteful. He helped design stronger tools, better shelters. He even proposed a new layout for the village, a perfect circle, symbolizing harmony and balance. Soon, the tribe began to thrive like never before. They didn't worship him. They respected him. Because he didn't rule them, he helped them rise. Before Bekorot, the Kayapo were nomads. They followed rivers, hunted in silence, and moved with the seasons. But under his guidance, something shifted. Bekorot showed them how to settle without losing their spirit. He taught them to farm in harmony with the land, rotating crops, building irrigation, using fire without destruction. He improved their tools, making hunting more efficient and safe. But more than anything, he gave them structure. The circular village wasn't just symbolic. It was practical. Every home had a place. Every member had a role. At the center stood the council, a group of wise ones who made decisions not with power, but with unity. The strongest warriors admired him. The elders respected him. And the children followed him with wide eyes and endless questions. In just a few seasons, the Kayapo transformed, from wanderers to builders, from survivors to a community. And in the heart of it all was Bekorot, never above them, always among them. Then, without warning, everything changed. Bekorot grew distant. His voice, once warm, turned quiet. He walked alone, slept apart. At first, the tribe thought he was ill, but this was something deeper, something spiritual. One night he appeared in full armor again, glowing rod in hand. He spoke in riddles. His words made no sense. He walked through the village without speaking, eyes scanning the stars. Then, at dawn, he climbed Sarukatoti, alone. The sky responded. Thunder cracked, lightning split the clouds, and in a flash of light, Bekorot disappeared. Some say a vessel came down, a glowing orb that carried him away. Others believe he returned to where he came from, or where he belonged. No body was found, no trace, only silence. And a question that has haunted the Kayapo for generations. Did he leave us? Or did we never truly understand who or what he was? After Bekorot vanished, the tribe mourned in silence. Days passed, then weeks. But it was his daughter, not Poi, who stepped forward. She wasn't a warrior, she wasn't loud, but she carried his wisdom, and something more, balance. Not Poi honored both worlds, the old ways of the forest and the new visions of the stars. She kept the circular village, preserved the council, and led with calm clarity. Under her, the Kayapo learned to blend spirituality with practicality. Rituals evolved. They still honored rivers and animals, but now also the sky, the light, the unknown. Not Poi was a bridge between memory and myth, between Earth and something beyond. She never claimed to be special, but the tribe saw her as more than a leader. She was the heartbeat of what Bekorot left behind. Years later, explorers entered Kayapo lands. They brought notebooks, questions, cameras. But what they found was a story. Bekorot's tale had spread beyond the trees, to other tribes, to anthropologists, to those who believed we're not alone. Some compared him to astronauts. Some thought he was a time traveler. Others saw him as a god in disguise. One researcher showed the elders a photo of Neil Armstrong. The reaction was instant. "That's him," they said. "That's Bekorot." It was impossible. Or was it? Stories began to appear in books, lectures, documentaries, but to the Kayapo, it was never about fame. It was about memory and mystery. A visitor from the stars, who didn't come to rule, but to teach. Whether Bekarot was alien, human, or something in between doesn't really matter. What matters is what he left behind. He showed a tribe how to live with nature, not against it. He taught them to lead without fear, to build without destroying, to question without losing faith. Today, the Amazon burns, forests fall, rivers dry. We build walls and forget how to listen. Maybe the message of Bekarot isn't just for the Kayapo. Maybe it's for us. To remember that we are part of something bigger, that leadership is service, that wisdom can come from the quietest voices, and that sometimes visitors don't come to conquer, they come to remind us who we were meant to be. If this story made you feel something, if it sparked a question, a memory, or simply a sense of wonder, don't let it end here. Leave a comment. Share your thoughts. What do you believe Bekarot truly was? And if you believe stories like this matter, stories that blend myth, mystery, and meaning, then help us keep them alive. Subscribe. Share this video with someone who still believes in the magic of the unknown. And stay tuned, because more forgotten truths are waiting to be uncovered. Together, let's listen to the whispers of the past and remember who we are.